A laid-back town in southern Utah, kind of forgotten, with a Native American history and Mormon pioneers. Come and take a look at what's left in Toquerville.
Welcome everyone to Weekend Escapades. Today we are in Toquerville, Utah. And behind me you're going to see a building that was erected in 1879. This evidently is the Toquerville Ward of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And this is a historic building here in Toquerville. And you can see right up there, Old Glory is flying in Toquerville today. And out in front, we've got a few little relics or antiques, if you will. Looks like an old plow here. Kind of an interesting old plow. I haven't seen one just like this. You might hear some traffic going by as we are kind of at the mouth of Zion, is where Toquerville is located here in Utah. This is an Adams Leaning Wheel Grader, number 11, manufactured by Adams Manufacturing, Indianapolis, Indiana, USA. You can see how this one's constructed. And the plow right down there. And evidently, that's where you'd sit. That looks really comfy, especially with those bolts right there. And this is in honor of Chief Toker, as you can see right there. In early June 1854, 8 members of the Southern Utah Indian Mission left Harmony to visit Toker, and they met the chief of the Paiute Indians and the band living in Lower Ash Creek, and that is the area where we are at right now. And then a few cabins were built here by settlers, and Toquerville became to exist. There's a lot of old homes and things here in town that we're going to visit. We're just going to take a look at them alongside the road. Some old storefronts off in the distance. And you can see right here, the Daughters of the Utah Pioneers, Toquerville. In 1854, President Brigham Young sent scouts to locate sites for settlements. And there were Indians living here called the Toker, meaning black. In 1858, 8 families were sent here to settle from New Harmony to colonize here in Toquerville. So just off the side street here in Toquerville, we are on Cotton Gin Avenue. There's an old building here. You can see the stonework, like a lot of them. Cactus here in front. This building's been left alone for a while in its natural state. You can see there. It says no trespassing, so we're not supposed to go on the property. Or I'd go in because it's open inside. But there's people living right here, so you'll see the signs are everywhere. But we'd love to go in the old building and take a look at it. Okay, so we're going to travel across the street, the main street in Toquerville. And this is the Toquerville Mercantile, as you can see there. A Universal Trading Company, it says right out front. This is an older building that's here in town with the old weather vane up top. So you can see that right there. And the big truck going by. That's okay, we are right on the main street. The old bench out front. Now that looks like it's out of a church. And maybe somebody had brought that out and put that there to sit on. Building. The old blockwork. And you can see that this is right on the road. Toquerville Mercantile. Heading back across the street the other way, there's a building that's here. They've been working on this. This is really what's left. It almost looks like a facade, but it is the inside of the building. And this looks like it was another general store or something like that. You can see they're working on it, but this is all that's left. And they're trying to preserve this one with these timbers right here holding up these exterior walls. You can see the wooden part of the back of the building there that they've also preserved, and windows and things over that. Looks like it said something on the side of the building there. Can't really read what it is. Well, those are definitely the original windows that were in the building. Nice to see that they're going to do something with it and preserve it. These old buildings were a little bit forgotten. Now it looks like they're going to bring them back. You can see behind me another store front, and you can see it there. It says something on the board, but I cannot read it behind me. But these buildings It looks like it still could be occupied. I don't think there's anybody living in it, but I can't read what's on there. It definitely says Toquerville across the top. It almost looks like it says shoe in one spot. But an interesting old building all made out of brick. But there's no placards on it or dates or anything saying what the building is. And I wish they'd be able to put historical markers in front of it. But that's just one of the things in Toquerville. A lot of old buildings, not many markers. That's why we're just trying to document it, because a lot of it's changing really fast. We've only been by here a few times, but a really nice building. You got to kind of watch your step in Toquerville as well, because the gutter system is just wide open gutter system. You see how they've created this, but all along here, these gutter systems are just right here, because it does get a little bit of some monsoons and things through here. There's people living in it. I hate bothering. Look at the old fence. Very ornate, leaded glass windows. You can see. And that little door up there with that little balcony. Look at that construction. I love seeing old homes, and the leaded glass windows in this one are absolutely beautiful. So this is the old winery that was here in Toquerville. So kind of taking a look at this, obviously people live in here, but this is off to the right. Looks like an old root cellar of sorts. I think I'm on somebody's property now, but we'll just kind of take a look at what's going on here. You can see how that's built. Big rocks, and looks like a big piece of petrified wood, but definitely an old root cellar. Interesting build underground. So that's got to be from the 1800s as well. But this is the what was said as the winery. Another building off to the right over here, historic building. That is an amazing old building. You can see it's built square in the corners and then all rock down below as well. Would like to get closer to that, or even inside and take a look at what's going on in there. Beautiful building. So I'm just going to walk around the front of it. Some big pillars in front. Hopefully people don't get mad that we're actually looking at their property, but what do you expect when you live in a historic building right on the road in a historic town from the 1800s? You're definitely going to have people looking at the property. Across the front, you can see the balcony, the wrought iron, the work that's there is the same as the houses down the road. Here we go. Utah Historic Site. I don't see anybody. It looks like it's under construction. Good. There's nobody in there. This is the Neagle Big House, known as the Neagle Winery. I hope I'm saying that right. Naegle. Maybe the Nagel Winery. So this is kind of a combination. There's a ring camera right there. And this was John Conrad Nagel, 1825 to 1899. Pioneer, rancher, farmer, and industrialist and colonizer, and a Mormon polygamist. So a faithful follower of the Lord of Jesus Christ is what it says right on there. There's a lot of dates called out. But he was the founder of this building right here. And I think there are people living in this house, so I'm not going to film it any longer. This is the other building that I was talking about. Again, everything here is owned. So well, this looks like an old garage. You can see the windows. But there's a lot of new buildings around here. This one, very old construction as well. A lot of wood up on top and a lot of block building. This was probably like the garage or the carriage house, if you will, for the building that's right over here.
The name Toquerville was given to the new settlement, taken from the Indian word toker, meaning black. With the abundance of black rock on the hills to the east of the new town and in the fields surrounding the town, the name was appropriate. Toquerville became very famous, and it was linked to be an oasis in the Arabian desert. As travelers emerged from the harsh desert, they found a green, luscious, cultivated land full of fruit trees and a thriving cotton gin. Now, one of the locals had told us that they're going to come up with an app that you can download on your phone to give you a tour of the town and let you know what all these historic buildings are. And I sure hope they do soon. And until our next adventure, goodbye from Weekend Escapades, and we'll see you in the next one.